Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Thirsty Thursday call. This is Wayne Euler, your host of the night. Glad to have you on the call. If you are new to the call, I'll give you a little history. We got this call started back in 2008, and it was at first a call for our team, just to get together once a week, share some business tips, some motivation, inspiration, and build our business. And now all these years later, it's a call that's shared with the whole entire Monavie community. I see callers from Skype, from the U.S., all over the West Coast, East Coast, Canada, even the UK. I even know that some listen from Germany later on, the recordings. So listen, we're excited to have you on the call. We have an amazing lineup. I must sound like a broken record because I say that every Thursday, but we just have so many great leaders in Monavie, and I'm so eager to hear what they all have to share. So listen, if you're new to the call, what we got for you, those of you that are new, what you're going to want to do is send a text message, okay, on your cell phone. And this is so that you can get connected with our Facebook group and our communities online. Okay, because after all, we are about the community, right? Community commerce. So what you're going to do is send a text message to the number 50500. And you're going to send the word Thursday, okay? So just send Thursday to 50500. You're just going to get one message, and it will be an informational message that gives you a link to the Thirsty Thursday group on Facebook and some other information there for you. So one more time, you're going to send a text message to 50500, and the word you're going to send is Thursday, all right? Pretty simple. And basically what we have here is, this call promotes a lot of community within Monavie. It's wonderful every Thursday. When I have the Facebook group opened, I see little nuggets and tidbits that you get from the speakers. You quote them and you share them in the group, and people like them, and they, it's just a great way to see the community in action. When you just have a conference call, you can't see the people, and there's no connection. It's someone speaking to not a deaf audience, but to we can't hear you. I can't hear you on the call. We can only hear each other, those of us that are speaking. And just a great way to promote community within a conference call. So go ahead and do that, why don't you? Listen, tonight we are going to have David and Carmen Abdo come on, Ruby executives with Monavie. We're going to have Randy Schroeder, Royal Black Diamond in Monavie, come on the call, and we have a surprise guest at the end to share some great information about the 4x4 Jeep program that's coming out. And so I'm excited about that. I know you will be too. Listen, if you're on Twitter, I've noticed tonight I started doing some things that's getting quite a Twitter community going. Send out a tweet and put on the hashtag TTMV, as in Thirsty Thursday Monavie, and the hashtag is the #. Send that tweet out. I'll see it. Make sure to follow you, retweet you, communicate with you as we go. And so we have quite a little community building on Twitter as well. Okay, hey, here's the thing, guys. Social media is the word of mouth for today, but it's done differently than how we do things offline. So I want to introduce to you guys David and Carmen Abdo. I've met them several times at major functions. Always a wonder to be around, a pleasure to be around. Always has a smile on his face. You get a big hug, and I can just, as I close my eyes, I can just see the last couple of times that we've met, and I see that smiling face, and I see us having a conversation. And you know what? It's the wonderful thing about the community in this in Monavie is that the people are stellar. They're just happy to help, excited to get to know you, become your friend, and I tell you what, that you can't put a price tag on something like that. So what I want to do is I first want to bring them on and just do a real quick interview, find out where you guys are from, what you were doing before you were in Monavie. So I don't have any certain order, David. Would you like to go first, or would you like to have your wife go first?
Well, I'll go first. It doesn't matter. I usually let her because she's better speaker.
Well, welcome to the call, David. Tell me real quick,
Are you there? Hey, Wayne?
Hey, guys. Steve Merritt here. Hey, Dave, take over. Kind of just tell him how you got started in the business, and Wayne will check back in. We must have dropped his line. Or
Okay.
one of his babies might have grabbed his phone. I don't know.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Back at Thanksgiving 2006, we got introduced to Monavie through 3 doctors who were treating my father before that. And those 3 doctors told me I needed to put my father on Monavie. That happened in a week's time. I really couldn't understand how fruit juice was supposed to help him when he was so weak he couldn't even sit up straight. But we turned and got the juice. We saw that it was available right on my back street, so we went knocking on doors to get it and got the juice, saw it help my dad considerably in a short period of time, and showed up at Matt Curtis's house Thanksgiving morning and signed up. And
wow.
It was one of those things where we didn't really have any training. It's Thanksgiving Day. We got in on a couple cases, and he said, just put people in left and right, put them on 2 cases. And that was Thanksgiving Day. And I remember that it was noon Friday, and I was walking down to catch Kim and Matt and tell them, hey, listen, I just looked at my numbers, and I reached star 1,000. And she told me, why don't you walk down and tell Steve and Gina that? They live 3 houses past my house in the other direction. And when I got to my house, I thought, it's noon. Why would I go to Steve's house and tell him I reached star 1,000 when there's still time today to do more? And we ended up hitting bronze that day and silver the next and gold in 6 weeks. And the thing is that the juice was amazingly powerful and absolutely needed by everyone I was sharing it with. And it was getting results, and we were growing fast. So you back, Wayne?
Wow. Yeah, I'm here. I got my phone dropped for a minute. Thanks for picking it up. But that's awesome. And a couple of things resonate when you started sharing that. One is I can we have Randy coming on next. I can remember Randy saying, hey, put the product to the test. If you find that you drink a bottle and you there want another bottle, you've proved the business. And that's kind of how my testimony was too. I got on the product, had great results, Grandma did, and so on and so forth, and went from there. I think it was great. I've been asking people how long it took them to hit several ranks because of this new Jeep program that's coming out in this 4x4 plan. Because you said you did it in like your first week, and you went bronze quickly after that, then silver. And I just kind of want to share that. And had you ever done a network before, or was this your first one?
I had done 2, but
okay.
I wasn't very successful in either of them. I was in one for 17 years and really never accomplished great things. I worked hard but didn't accomplish great things. And the other one I didn't work at, and I made some money. But
okay,
the first one, go ahead.
I got to slow you down there for a second. Now, 17 years, and you said you didn't make a whole heck of a lot of money. I got to ask, what kept you in for 17 years?
The personal growth.
Okay.
It was changing my life, and I could see it. I did not grow up a very positive person. I didn't grow up very excited about myself or my self-image, and I was seeing books like Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David Schwartz, Think and Grow Rich, Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. These books were being handed to me, and little by little they were transforming the inside, which is something that I started recognizing was making a difference in every area of my life, and that was worth it. The truth is that I did hit some levels that a lot of people would never have hit, and but I didn't have the success that I thought I could dream, because deep inside me there's a big dream, and I didn't hit it And my family broke apart. We were divorced, and I ended up walking away from a lot of things in that time just for the sake of peace. And so that was over. That was the 17 years.
So it's just interesting to hear that because, so many things that we'll attribute success to in Monavie or in this industry probably are finances, right? What kind of finances can we get from it? And here you found a value in how it was changing you as a person, and I think that's overlooked a lot of times. I think we're so bent on, oh my gosh, I need my autoship paid for, I need to be bronze, I need to be all these things, and it's been how many months, how many weeks, and I'm not there, and we're all stressed and anxious and blah, 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 blah. And here, if we would just stop and think about it, we'd actually realize that, holy cow, every time I'm on the call with David, he's always so positive, and I'm feeling more positive. Every time I talk to Randy Schroeder, I just get so motivated, inspired to do something in life. Every time I get off with Steve and Gina, I got a smile. And it's amazing that, we're so apt in this country to have some ill priorities in what we place value on. And I think there needs to be something said. And I'm just hearing this now. I didn't know you were in the network for 17 years. And I think this plays really good into the call. I didn't know we were going to go this route. The guys, the personal development. Tell them, David, you did 17 years in that network. Tell them about what you see in the personal development that we have here with lifelong learning. Like, how has lifelong learning enriched your life? Tell us a little bit about that.
I've been wanting to do that because, I own businesses, and I'm a businessman in my mind and in my heart. And two things, I love winning and I hate losing. So that's a great combination to keep a person moving. But I looked at Monavie as a business. We've been at this, I tell you, since fall of 2006. I've had plenty of time to look at the company. And so the company is stellar. If you were to rank Monavie on a scale of 1 to 10, do they have a product that people need? Oh, my God. Every human being on the planet needs it, whether they're young or they're old. Okay. Do they know they need it? No, that's my job as a distributor to make sure that happens. Number 2, is the company somebody that's reputable and responsible? Do they take care of their business? Well, I personally can tell you that since the first week I got in this business in 2006, we have not gone 1 week without getting paid. Every single week they've paid me. So I know they pay their bills. And so as far as the company, I rank it as a 10. But if you put in that little formula I want to tell you, A times B equals C. A, the company, times B, me, equals C, my percent of chance of succeeding at what I do. If the company is a 10, and I really don't believe in myself, and I'm a 0, what's 10 times 0? 0. If the company's a stellar company at a 10, and I really only half-heartedly believe in myself at a 5, what's my chance of succeeding with that company? 50%. So the growth, we have a stellar company. They've proven it. Ernst & Young doesn't pass out Entrepreneur of the Year awards just to, I'm trying to say people don't reach $1 billion in sales because they're a slouch company or they got problems. This company is stellar. So the difference between my percentage of being able to succeed isn't the company. I can't look outside me. I have to look inside me. And so that's where I'm trying to say to you is that this is where the action is. This is where the plays take place. This is where you get back up and get in the game because you haven't learned enough to win yet. This is where the game is at, is in that development. And for thousands of years, men and women have had mentors. Only in recent times did they start with printing presses, and we have mentors and the written page to study. And of recently, we have audio and video files that we can include in that to gather the wisdom, the excitement, and glean from people their great qualities. There's nobody perfect, but we have in front of us, and I just spoke to an absolutely amazing man. Steve Merritt is not where he is in this business because of how good he looks or how beautiful his wife is. Steve Merritt is where he is in this business because he plays with his whole heart, and he's unrelenting when it comes to chasing his vision. Some of us can sit on our sofa at home and say, well, I haven't quit. Well, so what? You're sitting on your sofa saying to yourself you haven't quit, but are you actively in the game? Are you out there striving forward for your dream and your goal? That's not quitting. And that's where Carmen and I are. We're those people that are not willing to settle for where we are or accept what we have or quit. We're just not that kind of people. Go ahead. I think I'm done with that.
No, you did wonderful. Wonderful. So tell me, David, what has been going on in your business recently? What are you seeing with the scanner? What are you seeing with people in scanning them and sharing the products? And tell us a little bit about your most recent success, either personally or someone in your organization. Tell us just a little bit of what's going on. Give us a little glimpse into what's going on in your business.
Well, I mentioned that Monavie has a product that everybody on this planet needs. It is an amazing delivery system of high-quality nutrition, both liquid and the meal replacements. It's amazing. But people don't know that, and either you have the ability to convey that with just your conversation, but now they've given us a tool where we don't even have to talk. Stick your finger in it. I forget who first said it. It's the lie detector if you've been eating fruits and vegetables. People don't know they need to eat fruits and vegetables. They're still happy just getting rid of that thing called hunger in their belly. They don't really think about how important it is for them to put the proper fuel in. And this little machine we have now, that scanner, is a strong indicator of whether or not what you're doing is working. We've had vegans come up red. And Matt Curtis gives a great explanation of it, and he talks about how the stuff we're buying in the store was picked too early. It's been sitting around on shelves for weeks. It's lost all of its vital life. And what they're eating is just, basically fiber that tastes like something. So the scanner is proof and evidence for people. Some people on this planet are going to smoke. If you tell them don't smoke, they'll die. They're still going to smoke. And some people on this planet are going to take it serious and do something about it. I think the same thing's happening with this scanner. Those that care will do something. And that's what we're looking for. People that care about what they're doing with their life, people that care about where they're going with their life, people that care about their family enough to want to do something, and we have a means to give them convincing evidence that we got the stuff right here. And it's worth trying. And that I see in my team. I'm getting more scanners. Somebody new in my business bought a scanner last week because they had to have it. They saw the power and the effect of it. We went to a Chamber of Commerce meeting on their behalf, and we scanned everybody at the Chamber of Commerce meeting, and we spoke there about the benefits of this and how this is a great augmentation to your business. It attracts people. You're doing something good in the community. It expands your business. It helps you increase your contacts. It's a great tool to augment your business, the scanner, Monavie, the whole system. And that's what we spoke at the Chamber of Commerce. So it's a great tool to convince people that want to be convinced that this is something that they need to do for themselves.
Awesome. So tell us real quick, anybody who might be joining the business, fairly recently, today, last week, if they were to be joining you and your team, what bit of advice, what bit of information, and this is someone who says, hey, you know what, David, I have some big dreams too, just like you, and I want to go after them. What would you tell them just getting started out? Tell me, what are you telling your new person? Are you using the GPS book? Are you using a tool? Just share a little bit of how you're using the system with your brand new person that you're bringing into the business.
Carmen is really good with dealing with people, and she's right here. Okay. I'd like her to weigh in on this, if that's okay.
Yeah, that would be great. We would love to hear from Carmen.
Hi, Wayne. How are you?
Great, Carmen. How are you?
Great. Thank you for having us on the call. This is so exciting.
Awesome.
Regarding your question, when we bring somebody in new to the business, the most important thing that David and I have learned through the years that we've been in Monavie is that the most important thing to find out from your new distributors is the reason why they want to be in Monavie, because that changes everything. And if you have somebody that just wants to consume the product, that's one thing. But if you have somebody that wants to build the business, you really need to sit down with them and find out what is it that would make them want to leave their families at night, and go in and meet somebody in the evening, or do a meeting for somebody, or drive hundreds of miles across the state to go and do a meeting, like we've done many, many times. And, that's one of the things that I think we made a mistake at when we first got involved with the company. We did not know really how to go about it. And we put people in so fast, and we never had the opportunity to really find out what was it that was going to drive them to build this business and stay in and be persistent. So now, after the years have passed, we've realized that was one of the mistakes that we made, because we never found that out with everybody. So now we train people in our group to make sure that you find out what that is, because we all have different reasons. But that doesn't mean that my reason is better or worse than yours. It just means we're on different levels. And I think that that reason changes as we go along, through time, because as you reach a certain goal, you want to do something else. Your reason might change. So for us, that's one of our biggest things now, that we really want to connect with our team, and we really want to work with them and show them that, hey, we're here for the long run. We're here to help them in any way we can, whether it's doing phone calls, or whether it's doing a meeting with them, or whatever the case may be. But I think that is so important, because I think a lot of times when people get into a network, if they don't have that support, it's a bit overwhelming, especially if you've never done a network before, which was my case. I had never done one. And so you don't really know. There's so much information thrown at you at the same time, and you're trying to learn your product, and you're trying to learn the business, and it's really a lot. So I think if we simplify it and we just do what we've been taught, and Randy's really good about this, and showing us that, hey, this is the core. Because if you can lock arm in arm with somebody and know why they're building their business, and sit down with them, and have dinner, or sit around a table. And we've done that with our team, where we've all sat down and we've all said our whys, and we all support each other. And I think that that's important, because in the long run, that is what's going to keep people in the business. Yes, the product is wonderful, and there's no doubt about that. I'm a walking testimony of the Reveal product. I love the product. I've lost a lot of weight on it, and I'm a big advocate for it. And David's off of 5 of his medications as a result of the Active and the Max. So we live the Monavie life, and I think that's the main thing, that we need to show our distributors that if you're going to be promoting a product, you need to live that product. You can't expect people to promote a product that they don't consume themselves. So that's one of the things that I'm really a big advocate about. And I tell people, if you're serious about losing weight and you want to promote the losing weight part, then you need to live that. You can't just tell people, well, get on this weight management plan, and you not do it. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that is so important. The same thing with the juices, the same thing, with everything that we have. Because if we're going to be leaders in this industry, we need to make sure as leaders that we're going to show people that this is not just that you go to an event and you find out about the company and then you go home and you don't really live that life. And that's one thing I have to say, that I thank my sponsors, Matt and Kim Curtis, and Steve and Gina, because they have been incredible, incredible leaders for us. And any day of the week, if you ever went to their house, you would see Monavie. You would see it in the products. You would see it on a banner. You would see it. You know, they live that life. So they have set the example for us, and that's who we've been following. And I think it's really important that people understand that when we are leaders, people are looking at you, and you can't expect your team to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. So that is a big thing for David and I, and we've always put our team first. And whenever we've had to make decisions as to, you know, drive 5 hours to go do a meeting in Jacksonville, and then we get there and there's nobody there at the meeting, you know, and then we have to drive 5 hours home. We've done that, you know. But when you're committed and you say you're going to go to that meeting, you go regardless. And that's really what, you know, if I could give somebody a tip that's new in the business, it's, you know, commit to the business if it's something that you really want to do. If you have the dream and you see the vision, the company is solid, like David said, and so the only deciding factor is you. And if you feel that you have it in you, then join this company, because we're a great group of people. And it's been established. And, you know, we all know that Monavie pays. So that's the important thing.
Awesome. You know, you reminded me of one thing that I do too, is I ask the why, then I go into a what and a when. So I say, why do you want to do it? What do you want to do? Do you want to go gold in 90 days? Do you want to do this, that, and the other? And when do you want to get started? And because I've had so many people, this has been something I've dealt with, or I've seen like I keep dealing with, is, man, Wade, you know, they don't do this, they want to do it. And I'm like, you want it more than they do. You'll find that person, and it'll be so easy. But if you just ask those 3 questions, why, what, and when, in the beginning, if they answer them properly, it almost gives you the permission to then sow into their life, rather than just they get in and you just want to bombard them with stuff they're not ready for or willing to even digest. And so I love that. It's back to the basics, too. I mean, that's what we've been taught since day one. What is your why? Why are you getting involved with Monavie? And so I like that. That's awesome. Well, hey, listen, guys, I'm so thankful that you guys came on the call tonight and shared with us. I've been so excited to hear from you for a while, and I'm looking forward to seeing you both in Utah.
Thank you, Wayne. And Wayne, I want to say one last thing.
Sure.
I want to remind everybody that when we got in 2006, you know, beginning of 2007, we really started building the business. The thing is this, guys, the product leads the way. The scanner is just a tool, okay? And people need to realize that. It doesn't matter if you scan 100 people, but if you haven't shared the product, it doesn't matter. So the main thing here is that we've got to share the product, whether it's the juice, whether it's the reveal, whether it's, you know, a quarter of a peanut butter bar, whatever it is you have, use that, because that's what we did at the beginning. We used the juice because that's what we were taught. And I think that through the years, you know, we've all gotten so bombarded with so much information, and we forgot that the main thing here was the product. That is what took this company to $1 billion.
You're right.
Not the scanner. So make sure we all keep that in mind. That is our ticket. And it always has been. The juice has been the ticket. Then the reveal came in, and it did amazing things for people. And we can't forget that.
Very good. Very good. I agree.
Anyway, thank you so much for letting us share, Wayne.
Yes, Wayne.
You got it. Thank you, David and Carmen. Love you guys, and looking forward to seeing you in Utah.
Love you, too. Looking forward to seeing you.
Okay. Awesome. Well, listen, you know, I'm just thinking here as we're about to bring on Randy, you know, it's amazing, like I said, the leaders in our community with their different gifts. And one thing I love about this call is you just get to hear the different gifts in people as they share. And so I don't want to take any more time. I do want to bring Randy on. When I first saw him, I was at a major function a few years ago, and I listened to him speak on stage, and I thought, oh, my gosh, I should have taken an energy drink before this, because he just had so much great information and just so well-spoken. I just, every time I had a chance to hear him, I looked forward to it. I went to the Clearwater. They had a Clearwater training last year where he trained with a group of people and just really enjoyed the training. I mean, when you can go to something 6 months, a year ago, and you can still remember the content that was shared, like when he was in his airplane and he shared his ice on the wings, the icing envelope, I could probably almost do the whole story, maybe not word for word, but that's how much of an impact he had on me. And get ready, get your notepads out, and we do record this, so you'll be able to listen to the recording. But I am looking forward to bringing Randy Schroeder on the call. Okay, so I did that one just for you, Randy. Randy Schroeder, Royal Black Diamond in Montevideo. Share some words with us. If you could, Randy, just share real quick how you got started in Montevideo, and then just take it from there, my friend.
Oh, wait, I will. You put a big smile on my face, a little short-term empowerment. That's the beautiful thing. And you know what? It works. It worked for me. It worked that second the same as it worked when I learned that strategy. Now, the question, how did I get started in Montevideo? The story has been well told that, years and years and years ago, Dallin Larson and I grew up together. And so, I think that way back, I think you can go clear back to the late 1980s sometime, as the funnel started working towards the time when he and I would work together. But I think that a better question than when did I get started in Montevideo and why is when did I get started in the direct selling industry. Montevideo didn't exist when I got involved in the industry, but I started along a process that caused me to fall in love with these principles. And some of these little sound bites that I sometimes use, I've become completely convinced that the fundamental principles governing direct selling, network marketing, community commerce, whatever we want to call it, I've become completely convinced that those principles are superior to those which govern conventional business. And what led me, Wayne, to the decision to get involved in the industry was simply this. I was dissatisfied doing what I was doing. It wasn't because I wasn't making enough money. I was. You can always have more. But it wasn't because I wasn't able to make a living as a stockbroker. It was because I was unfulfilled professionally. It's because that career was exposing my every character flaw. I could never have quantified that at that moment and said, here's why I'm not happy. But, Wayne, I can just boil it all down to this. I want to be more happy more of the time. What I was doing for a living wasn't contributing to that. I went to the very first direct selling function that I ever participated in, and it seemed to me the guy on the stage was either happier than me or he was a very, very, very good actor. He seemed to have no stress, and I had a lot of stress. He seemed to love what he was doing. I didn't like what I was doing at all. And it was clear to me that he was loved by the people in the room, so there was something about it that was special. So I walked into my very first presentation. I knew that it was good. I didn't know why. I set myself out on a mission to figure out why it was good. It didn't take too long. So I said yes to the industry in a big way back on February 1st of 1990, and I consider it to be one of the greatest blessings in my life to have said yes to the industry and then finally find my way to the company. And then, Wayne, you tell me this. Should I just blaze along, or would you like to sort of intercede and guide the discussion as we go?
Oh, no, you're doing great. Go ahead. You're doing fine. Okay.
So, folks, I actually was asked by Steve Merritt. Wayne, thank you so much for hosting this, and all those who are on the call, thank you for being here this evening. I was asked by Steve when he sent me over an email if I would hit on 2 or 3 things. And the first thing that he asked me to discuss was why it is that I'm involved in the industry. And, we just have to spin the clock back. I'm assuming that most of you here have watched the video called Why Community Commerce, Why Not, Why You? And it simply comes down to this. What was once true remains true. Sometimes we develop new information, we get new knowledge, but what was once true remains true. And when I went to the front of the room that first day and I asked the gentleman, his name was Craig, if he could encapsulate for me in a few minutes why what he was doing for a living seemed to be making him more happy than I was, he asked these simple questions. Randy, as a stockbroker, do you get to work when you want? And I did not. I worked when Merrill Lynch said, not when I wanted. He said, as a stockbroker, do you get to work where you want? And I didn't. I was told by my employer what city I would live in. I was told which building in the city, which floor in the building, and which cubicle on the floor. And he said, I remember so well, never forget these words. It stuck in my mind. He said after each of the questions, you know, Randy, a number of years ago, I invited a handful of friends into my home. That night it was like I dropped a pebble in a pond. The ripple started to spread. Today, he said, I've separated myself from the generation of income through other people's consumption of a valid product line, and so I get to work when I want. He said, I invited a handful of friends over to my home. That night it was like I dropped a pebble in a pond, and the ripple started to spread. And today I've separated myself from the generation of income through other people's part-time successes. And they said, Randy, do you get to work with whom you want? And well, I got to tell you, I didn't. What I had was I didn't have friendships in the office. I had managed conflict. And why did I have managed conflict? I had managed conflict because for me to succeed, somebody else had to lose. You know, I remember every single day I had a sheet put on my desk, and it would compare me, my daily production from yesterday, to the other 80 brokers in the office, 78. And it was never to my joy if somebody else went up the ladder, because if they were succeeding, it meant that I was not. It was always to my joy when I went a little bit higher up the ladder. And, you know, I contemplate why it is that I'm now more happy more of the time. And one of the biggest reasons is because my success in this business never comes at the success of another. The contrary, if and when we succeed, it is only because someone else succeeds. And I remember even that very first day as Craig was talking, and he was sort of, I can just sort of envision what was going on. My mind is kind of racing off other places, and I'm picking up some parts of the words. But I remember my times of celebration would be when I opened a brand new account, a big one. And, you know, I never stopped to think about, well, what about that person who lost the account? You know, my success was coming as a result of someone else's failure. That account did not materialize out of thin air. You know, today all around America and all around the world, a salesperson sold a Mercedes, but, you know, they never had a moment of silence for the BMW salesman, but they should have, because one person's success was the direct result of someone else's failure. The real estate broker who gets the listing gets it because someone else did not. The attorney who wins the case gets it because somebody else lost the case. I was in direct competition with others, and so therefore was in conflict with others, and that meant that I was not likely. Now, it's all these years later, but why was I not more happy more of the time? I was not more happy more of the time because I was in competition, which creates conflict. And Craig said, you know, I invited a handful of friends over to my home, and it was like I dropped a pebble in a pond, and the ripple started to spread. And he said, and now I've separated myself from the generation of income through not just the consumption of other people of a valid product line, through not just the part-time successes of other people, but I've separated myself from the generation of income through the full-time successes of others. And now I do wish that for all you who are listening on this session right now, I wish I could snap my fingers and get out of my head and my heart what's there. I wish that I could transfer to you what's occurred over these now many, many, many years that I've been involved in the business. I'll just draw one name out of the hat. I've got a person that runs the business who lives in Poland. His name is Piotr. And, you know, when Piotr joined the business, he was living in Chicago and was a brick mason's helper, and his wife was cleaning other people's homes. And they were just barely getting by, day by day by day. Today, Piotr and his wife, Kasia, they made the required sacrifices, and they have been on task, dead directly and completely on task, I think, just about every day for now about 3.5 years. They're black diamonds, and they make about as much money every month as they used to make in a year. Now, today, if I called Piotr and said, you know what, I made a horrible mistake. I should never have brought you into this business. This was wrong. You should quit. Piotr would say, Randy, you quit if you want to, but I'm not going to. This is working for me. And so, you see, I have separated myself from the generation of income through other people's success. If I stop, he won't. If I tried to get him to stop, he won't. That's when our incomes take on this degree of permanence, and then final permanence. It's when someone else is accomplishing what they want to. My every success, and ultimately yours, is born of someone else's success. That's the single biggest reason that I can tell you that the fundamental principles governing this great industry are superior to those governing conventional business. And then finally, Craig said, Randy, you get to work if you want. So what were the questions? Did I get to work where, when, with whom I wanted? The answers were no, no, no. Why? Because I hadn't separated myself from a generation of income, and I would then be subject to what the company and the boss wanted me to do. And then finally said, Randy, do you get to choose to work if you want? Well, no. I had a mortgage, and I had car payments, and on we go. It took me so long to realize that making money and having money are not the same thing. So it took me so long to realize that I bought into a marketing dream that said spend, 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 use credit. Just a lot of years between here and there. But Craig said, you know, Randy, here's the basic problem you've got. He said, Randy, you are a part-time earner and you're a full-time spender. I said, what do you mean, Craig? And he said, well, you're paying interest 24 hours a day, and yet the market's only open a few hours a day. So you're earning part of the day, you're spending all of the day. That's why you're broke, and you're going to stay broke no matter how much money you make. And then he taught me the beautiful principle of engaging in this industry with a company that is multinational and to recruit on purpose to finally someday have a business that is in multiple cultures. And you see, I got into business, Wayne, pure and simple. I got in it to make money. I didn't know when I got into business that I had been raised with certain thoughts. There's no other way to describe it, but as bigoted. That's the truth. I had been raised that we all look the same. We were all kind of the same little religion and background and so on, and I didn't know that some of the words coming out of my mouth were in fact racist and bigoted. Well, over the course of the many years I've been in this business, my business has become geographically diversified. It's become economically diversified, so not tied to any economy. Most importantly to me, it's become culturally diversified. Today I have not just acquaintances but friends of every background and every single religion and color, everything you can think of. He said, Randy, do it right. Someday you'll generate income 24 hours a day because your business will have spread to all the corners of the earth. And once you become a full-time earner, it won't be too long if you learn how to properly manage money. You'll get to be a part-time spender because you'll no longer borrow money from the bank. You'll start depositing. And, Wayne, that's become true for me. So I'm what I guess you would describe as a happy customer. There's no one that I think is more blessed than me. I'm about the happiest person who ever said yes to this industry, and I'm so grateful that I did. It took me a long time to commence in the industry, to overcome my own preconceived notions, years and years and years to fight my way through various character flaws that would stand in the way of me being in positive association with more people. And it took a long time of my involvement in the career before I arrived at the point where Monavie was even open for business so that we could one day get together. But the second thing Steve asked me to comment on was, well, if the industry is good, that's one thing, but why is it that I would choose to be involved with Monavie? And the answers here are very simple. Life for me is about relationship, and sooner or later, those of us who if we ever have the experience of no longer being forced to work for money because we no longer have financial pressure, then we get a chance to truly choose. So long as you're working for money, it could be argued that you don't have the power of choice because economic realities sort of force us. Today, I will tell you that the relationships are what matter the most, and so I'm involved with Monavie first because I have a deep respect, and a deep respect for Dallin Larson, a deep friendship for Carrie Larson. Dallin and I have known each other for a long time, and I've seen the way that he responds when things are challenging in his personal life. I've seen the way that he responds when things are challenging in his business, and frankly, I'm involved with Monavie because of that relationship. But now let's take another step, set that aside, pretend the relationship did not exist. In my whole career in the industry, what I think, as the couple on the call just before me referenced, what matters first of all is the product. And I will tell you that having been at this for this number of years, I don't believe there is any product so perfectly situated for our business as the Monavie functional beverage. Now, I love the Reveal product line. I love everything about Monavie's product offering. But the functional beverage is the most beautiful thing ever for our industry. Why? Because I've never had anybody taste it and say, no, I don't like that. And we shouldn't understate that value. Our industry is not full of products that people love. Our industry basically is populated with products that people don't enjoy. And because they don't enjoy them, the distributor force is constantly having to sort of plead and cajole their way along to get the person to continue to use. Because the Monavie beverages are good. I mean, they're great. I've not had anybody say, oh, no, Randy, I couldn't consume that. Because they taste good, people consume more of them. Just think about the logic. If I like the product, I will consume more of it. So people love our product, and because they love it, they consume more of it. And then because they consume more of it, take the next step in logic. Isn't it obvious that if one consumes more of it, it has a better chance to do what it's supposed to do? What's it supposed to do? I remember I looked with fascination at Monavie when I first came, and I heard some of the testimonials. I thought, come on, what is this elixir? It seems to do whatever the person needs it to do, and that's the truth. Why do some people who lack energy get energy when they're consuming it? And at the same time, somebody who seems all tensed up seems to get some relief. Why? because the purpose of the antioxidant formula is to make our bodies work as good as they can possibly work. And so the product will literally seek out the deficiency in the next individual. That's why the testimonials are as unique as the individual who consumes the product. And in the entire time that I've been in this industry, there has never been something that I was so completely confident in. It doesn't matter who I'm talking to, whether it be purely about the business or a perceived product need. I have never had the complete, absolute confidence, the virtual certainty that if I put the bottle in their hands, they're going to like what they get. Because they like it, they'll consume a lot of it. Because they consume a lot of it, it will do what it's supposed to do. And widespread other times when the person says, hey, I want bottle number 2. And that's the foundation on which everything rests. So why Monavie for me, first of all, is the product. The magic is in the bottle. Now I can extend that to say that, yes, while the magic is in the bottle, literally as the days have gone on, I've become, I can say almost on a daily basis now for a couple of years, more enthusiastic about the Reveal product line, more and more and more. Demographically, if we just look at this continuing aging of our society, I remember I launched my business career so many years ago on the idea that there was this huge bulge in our society shaped like a football. It starts out with the birth of 1946, and it grows and it grows and it grows, and it peaks out with the birth of 58, it tapers off and it ends in 1964. That great big bulge in society, that's called the baby boom. And if you can imagine taking that football and shoving it into a garden hose, the garden hose represents the market. And that market has to expand unbelievably, doesn't it? I mean, a garden hose would really have to expand to swallow up a football. And if you force the nose of that football forward, every time that leading edge, the baby boom, ages another year, then there's another group of needs. And those group of needs, think about the leading edge. Those guys born in 1946, they're into the early 60s now. Think about what our product Active does. What percentage of people who are in the early 60s will say, I've got some kind of joint pain and my Active help? What percentage of people who are in the early 60s would have a concern about their immune system? Doesn't it border upon 100%? And in our society, because so few, such a small percentage of people have had the clarity of thought or just the good fortune to along the way realize that the, quote, safety net isn't too safe. It's fewer than 1% of people in the early 60s, fewer than 1% in this, the richest society on earth, fewer than 1% of the people who have got a fully funded retirement plan and are prepared to step aside from their income and live on the resources. And so here we've got this functional beverage offering that would appeal to just about every one of those people. 10,000 people per day in America are turning 60 years old. You know what? About 14,000 people per day are turning 50 years old. And trail it on back to the very trailing edge. It's really interesting to me that this is the first time in the history of that huge bulge in society that people on the leading edge have similar interests to people on the trailing edge. See, the leading edge of the baby boom, when they were 18 years old, you can't sell anything to an 18-year-old that you can sell to a baby. Move the bulge forward 18 years. There's not much you can sell to a 36-year-old that you can sell to an 18-year-old. But move it forward today. And what you can sell to a 62-year-old is almost entirely what you can sell to a 44-year-old. It's the same. And so you've got this huge bulge of people, and here we have Monavie that is selling from a product standpoint and from a business opportunity standpoint into both of them. And so it's simply a matter of us properly articulating the message. I could go on for a long time about those thoughts. Why direct selling? Because it's the best way to live. Not just the best way to make money. It's not just the best way to generate income. Why Monavie? The magic is in the bottle. And now I want to, again, talk about that bulge in our society who need what we've got, folks. I want you all to know there are people out there who need and want what we've got. They need to perceive in you, they need to perceive in me, in us, the confidence and certainty that what we've got, that we can show them how to stick the key in the lock. We've got it, but if it's behind closed doors and they can't get in, nothing's going to happen. So that's the next step. Then think of the obesity epidemic in America. There is an obesity epidemic in America, and there with the Reveal product line, and I love Mark McDonald, we play right into the heart of that as well. There's so much more that could be said. From a product standpoint, from a company standpoint, from an industry standpoint, I could not be more certain. I simply could not be more certain. Then the next thing that Steve asked me to comment on quickly was this thought of lifelong learning. You know, I've so many times in my life I've listened with interest as people have described the opportunities of various direct selling or network marketing companies and other ventures. And what we always hear again and again and again and again and again is timing. And you know what? The huge majority of what we've all been taught about timing is just wrong. I was taught that I should get involved in the industry with a certain company because it was either going through dramatic growth or there was a moment of dramatic growth that was predictable on the horizon, and the man I wanted to be there when it started to grow. And that moment of timing, we've all seen so many times this graph that's been drawn. All these companies, they start on the bottom left-hand corner of the graph, and most of them finish on the bottom left-hand corner. Once in a while, not very often, but every once in a while, one of these companies stops being small and it starts to become big. Its product or its service starts to grow, and it goes through this period of momentum, and everybody's excited about it. Guys, let me tell you, that's all a great big so what. Here's what I now know to be true. This is not something that I think. This is something that I know. Each next individual's moment of timing is about a moment in him or her. It is not about a moment in Monavie. That's the truth. It is about a moment of timing in you. There are 4 simple skills that we must all develop, and as we begin taking those 4 simple skills and moving towards a point of mastery, then having acquired those 4 skills and moved them to a point of mastery, when we then begin to confront ourselves and identify character flaws, move them to a point of neutrality, and then turn into ultimate character strength, bang, that's our moment of timing. So what are the 4 simple skills? The first one is we must learn how to create a candidate list that grows in front of us. It's a simple activity to write down a list of names, but it is a skill to so live our lives such that our candidate list grows in front of us. If I go sponsor a new distributor today, it is easy to write down a list of names. But what about 6 months from now? What about 6 years from now? It is a skill to so live our lives that our candidate list grows in front of us. And by the way, John Maxwell has correctly stated, everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. If any of us find our business at a point of impasse, we have in our own individual groups, probably represented first in ourselves, a moment of impasse or stagnation in our leadership development. That's the way that it is. That's the truth. When you as an individual grow, your business will grow to equal your growth. When you then grow again, your business will grow to equal your growth. Our businesses will not get bigger than us and stay that way for very long. Periodically, we'll see spikes of income. The income will quickly retract to our current level of empowerment and the overall empowerment levels of our groups. That's been shown over and over again. So there are 4 simple skills. 100% of people can develop these skills. First, to learn how to create a candidate list that grows in front of us. Second, to learn how to invite. It is critically important that the next candidate, the next prospect, see the opportunity. What is the opportunity? The opportunity is Monavie. The opportunity is not me, and it is not you. It's not good if the next prospect sees, if their primary, what they see mostly is their proposed sponsor. Their proposed sponsor is probably brand new and is probably not making much money. And so, you want to show me a business? Great. How's it working for you? How much money are you making? Well, none. How much do you know about it? Not much. Can you teach me how to do it? I don't know how myself. Then why should I join? You see, it's no good if the prospect sees as their primary point of focus the referring distributor. And by the way, it's just as bad if they see me or if they see Steve Merritt. Why? Because then I became the opportunity. Oh, that's great. If Randy will come and do all my presentations, then this is going to be wonderful. See, then the prospect is seeing the success of one individual who's been a decade and a half or 2 or 3 in it. No, I'm not the opportunity, and Steve's not, and Wayne's not, and you're not. Monavie is. But until such time as we first develop at least a rudimentary inviting skill and then gradually transition that to a point of mastery, then we can anticipate our candidate, our prospect, seeing us, and limited will be our growth. It will only be as big as our immediate, most warm circle of influence. The first skill is to learn how to create a candidate list that grows in front of us. The second skill is to learn to invite so that our candidate sees the opportunity instead of the one offering the opportunity. The third skill is to learn how to present the business in an eminently replicatable way. Now, it doesn't matter how brilliant your oratory skills are. It doesn't matter how sparkling you are in front of a group. If the people are joining the business based on the strength of your individual presentation, then congratulations, you've got a job, but you don't have a business, because when you're not doing what you do, the wheel will stop turning. And so it's about not just learning to present the business in a replicatable way, but to have that institutionalized throughout an organization. For so many years, I taught that I actually opted a training program once called Recruit, 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 the only sure way to success. Today, years later, a more mature view shows that was flawed. Here's what I believe is the true measure of success in our business. It is recruit and then train. Recruit, train, retain. The people who join us should be with us from now on, always. When I recruit a new individual, I tell them, this is now a permanent relationship. This is not for a little while. This is from now on. Recruit, train, retain, and then fully transfer the baton of knowledge and leadership, such that the future success is based upon what someone else is doing instead of being based upon what you are doing. You see, that the great measure of success in our industry is that if you're not working, nobody knows. That's the success. If you absent yourself from the business and the business slows down, congratulations. You've probably got some great skills, but what does it mean? It means that you've not fully transferred the baton of knowledge and leadership. The greatest measure of success in our industry, if you're not working, nobody notices. Recruit, train, retain, fully transfer the baton of knowledge and leadership. That demands that it be a process-centered business, not a personality-driven business, that a tool do the talking instead of you. If a person's talking, they got a job. If they're pointing to a tool and the tool's talking, they got a replicatable business. The last skill is to learn how to follow up appropriately, and once again, in an institutionalized way, a way that everyone does, get new members started. Those are 4 skills. 100% of people on this call and 100% of the people that those on this call know can develop those skills. And I remember there came a time when I felt like I developed those skills, and truly I had. My business stopped growing. It started getting smaller, and I went to my coach, and I said, come on, what's going on? And he said, well, Randy, you've got those skills, but people don't like you. You've got those skills, but you're really full of yourself. You've got those skills, but people don't ever really know if you're telling the truth. You've got those skills, but Randy, you're drunk 2/3 of the time. You've got those skills, but nobody wants you around their wife or daughter. It's not just about developing skills. You can have the best skills in the world, but until such time as we become willing to be confronted by others and to confront ourselves, to identify character flaws which may stand in the way of us being in association with more people. You see, it's when others would seek to invite us into their lives. All the great skills mean nothing if we don't learn to so live our lives so that others would like to be in association with us. The great moment of timing, then, is when those 4 skills have developed and are continuing to develop because it is progress, it is growth, it is attractive to others. When we become willing to confront ourselves and to be confronted by others, so we identify significant character flaws, we all have them, neutralize them, and then move them to a point of character strength, that is attractive to others. This is the business of attraction, not promotion. When others see you grow, they want to go where you're going. Combine positive character attributes with a certain set of skills, marry those to Monavi, this business got easy. That's your moment in timing. Bang. It's not about what Monavi's doing right now. It's not about what the latest product initiative is. It's not about the latest tool. It is about you. And that's the good news, because you're probably not going to change Monavi too much. You're probably not going to change the industry too much, but you can change you. That's me. I know that if I want my business to go to the next level of success, it is I that must grow, and my business will grow behind my own evidence of future personal growth. And that leads me, and my time is spent here, and that leads me to this idea of lifelong learning. I will tell you that I don't know anybody, I really don't. Maybe they're on this call and we just don't talk about it, but I don't know anyone who commits more of their day to what I call learning on purpose than I do. And I just reduced it to this simple thought: if I am not teaching, I am being taught. Right now I'm teaching. I'm talking to you. If I'm not teaching, I'm being taught. By the way, that's true of you too. If you're not teaching, you're being taught. The question is, what are you learning? And are you learning on purpose, or are you learning by accident? I literally allow no dead time. If I am not teaching, I am being taught. And so that means I am listening to, I am reading, or I am watching. It might be something I'm paying attention to. It might just be in the background. But I am always listening to, reading, or watching something that has a chance to make me more. I am never listening to, reading, or watching something that has the risk of making me less. Wayne, I have taken up all of my time, and I could talk for hours about this industry because I don't just like it, I love it. I could talk for this company for hours because I don't just like it, I love it. And once again, I want to come back to this simple thought, folks. Whoever you are, your moment of timing is about you. It is not about the company. It is not about the industry. And whether or not you believe it, now speaking not to a group and not to a faceless telephone line, speaking to you as an individual, looking into your eyes and your heart, I want you to know that whether or not you believe it, I believe you can really do this. You can do this. Why? Because in you there's a spark of the divine. And when you do that which is required to grow and to come into contact with that spark of the divine inside you, then these simple little barriers that stand between us and success, we find the courage to walk our way through them. So, Wayne, thank you so much for having me on the call. Everybody, I appreciate your time, and I'll get back to you, Wayne.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Randy Schroeder. Wow. I was getting nervous there. He started saying my name in the middle of taking notes and posting on Facebook, and I love so much of what Randy shared tonight. But one thing he shared, a couple things he shared that really hit me. One was way in the beginning. He said when he first got into the business, it was for the money, and I just, I heard that from someone from Germany as well, and a few other people here and there. And then he talks about how he found so much more than that. So I just thought that was interesting. And at the end here, when he said when he's not teaching, he's being taught. It reminds me of just anything in life. If you want to be able to give to people, you've got to fill yourself up. And I just got so much from that. That's how Randy is able to pour out in the way that he does, is because he's not always pouring. He's also being poured into. So I just wanted to say thank you, Randy, so much for being on the call. We really appreciate you and looking forward to seeing you in Utah as well.
Pleasure.
Okay. You got it. Okay, listen, guys, we're going to have Steve Merritt now come on the call and share with us. He's got some exciting things to share about the Jeep and 4x4 programs that we have been hearing about. So, Steve Merritt, my friend, take it away, buddy.
Hey, Wayne, thank you very much. And I just wanted to say, hey, it was a pleasure. It's just a joy to listen to Randy as he's just, you could just feel the passion and the energy through the phone, not only just telling you how excited he is about the product. And, again, I just finished a bottle of Monavie, Randy, as I listened to the call so far. And that's what I love about our product is the bottles are always empty. It's exciting, and you know what I hope you're all really listening just from being on this call. There's so many ways that you can be plugged into our community and stay focused, and you work on your leadership skills. You don't have to be – everyone is a different person in this business. We need everyone's attributes to take this to the level that we want to take it. But you're going to have to work on you becoming relatable to people, like Randy talked about. He knew everything, but he wasn't being relatable, or he wasn't didn't have the personal development skills that he needed. You do the same thing, because I am telling you that great things are happening in our industry and in Monavie specifically, and that's why Randy's so excited about it. And Wayne, I appreciate you hosting this call and pouring your heart in for everyone as a team in Monavie. So all of you that are on this call, if you're brand new or if you're from any organization, we are here helping and blessing folks. And Wayne, you're doing a tremendous job. Last week I wasn't able to be on the call because I was in Alaska on the Black Diamond cruise. 17 brand new Black Diamonds were introduced on the cruise. So, anyone asking you, how's Monavie doing? Someone asked me today, actually. They said, how's business? I said, well, last week we just had 17 brand new Black Diamonds with us on the cruise from all over the world. And the exciting thing is that's what's going on in Monavie. And we know what? We want you with us on the next Black Diamond trip. Let's start with Hawaii. Hawaii's coming up real quick in November. You go when you go diamond in Monavie, you go to Hawaii, or you go on a diamond trip wherever they pick in Monavie. And when you go Black Diamond, the next trip's going to be an African safari. So ask your boss when you go to work tomorrow. I love what Randy said. It wasn't that he wasn't making money. He was looking for what Wayne was just saying, a more meaningful life. And that's what Monavie is here to offer you. Ask your boss, how long do I got to work here before you're going to send me and my wife, all expense-paid trip, airfare, hotels, food, luau's, expense money to Hawaii? How about on an African safari? That's what we want to. That's what we want to accomplish. We want to be traveling around and help you reach your dream. We're not here to tell you what we've done. We're here to say to you, hey, we want you to be with us or accomplish what you're looking to accomplish. Myself, when I got started, I just needed to I wasn't looking to make millions. I was looking to generate an income, supplement my wife's income, Gina, who got her pay cut in half after 20 years working for the airline industry. So I don't know what your dream is or what you're looking to accomplish. We want to help you. That's why we've put this call together. That's why there's a corporate conference call next Monday night, and I got another special webinar that I want to tell you about. We have every Sunday night, our team has got a webinar that goes on. It's actually the MVP, Monavie Opportunity Webinar, that goes on at 7:30 every Sunday night. And this Sunday it's going to be teachers who are blue diamonds in the business. And if you're brand new and you don't know what a blue diamond is, a blue diamond average annual income is about $10,000, so half $1,000,000 a year. If that would help you, if you'd be interested in that. But they're going to be telling you how, as teachers from Connecticut, I just spent time with them on Tuesday up in the Northeast with Mauricio Bolero, our CEO and president. Man, we had a great time with those folks. It was packed, and people are fired up in the Northeast. So they're going to be on the call on Sunday night, 7:30 Eastern Time. The webcast you go to is just monavi.com/webinar, and you can put your email on there. You don't need a password, and you are logged in. They're going to be doing the webinar because Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon actually, is my daughter's wedding. Chloe, she's my second oldest daughter. My oldest daughter, Mia, got married 2 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago, because then we went on the Alaskan cruise. And now my second oldest daughter, she's 22, Chloe, is getting married this Sunday night. So everyone fills in and helps everybody. Neat thing about this is Gina was reminding me, she said, if we had our jobs, we would have to work all the way up to, I'm sitting down in my house in Palm Beach, we're just relaxing, enjoying our kids, and she said, yeah, we got to do the Thirsty Thursday call because that's all we got to do. We don't have to be at our jobs all day long, all up until the wedding, which most people would have to do. And the reason why I say that is, we want this for you. We don't know. We had no idea in the point of time when we got in Monavie that we were going to have 3 kids, and just some graduating, some still in university, one still coming up to going into university, who's my 16-year-old son, and 2 daughters getting married all at the same time. Make sure, even if you are very successful, like Randy was saying, as a stockbroker, that you look down the road, or you say, you know what, now's the time to build my well before I need the water, because when you need this, it's actually it's a lot tougher because you look desperate on your face. You want to have fun enjoying the journey of putting this together. So before tonight's over, you and your wife, you and your family, sit down and talk about your dreams and your goals for your life. And you know what? Let's plan on living it now. I mean, even though we're 50 years old, you should have seen some of these people. I'd rather check off this Alaskan trip off my bucket list, seeing these whales and everything, and I didn't have to get pushed around in a wheelchair. I mean, some of these folks were on their first Alaskan trip, or they couldn't wait to see Alaska, but they're much older than Gina and myself. We want you to start living your dreams now and ask yourself, what vehicle have you got that's going to get you there? Do you have a vehicle that can allow you in the next 2 to 5 years the freedom that you and your family really want to enjoy? Don't look at if you want to do this or not with us. Ask yourself, what are you looking for? Randy laid it out great as far as the opportunity, the product, Monavie, timing could not be better. And Monavie just keeps impressing Gina and myself and all of my friends. They're going to be announcing key points at the Elevate convention coming up here August 29th through September 1st. And I wanted to tell you that they've actually hired, I love Mauricio and I, we had a great time up in New Jersey. He said that talk about this Jeep program, when I get to it, he actually wants to hand the keys to the first person. He wants to fly to the city of the first person that earns the free Jeep. So ask yourself, do you want to have, ask your boss tomorrow, is he going to give you the keys to a free Jeep? And again, it's a lease. As long as you keep qualifying, they make the payments. I can tell you that I've been in for 7.5 years. For 7 years, they've paid my Mercedes payment every single month, and I haven't had to worry about a Mercedes payment for 7 years. So at least you know that when you hit the level that you've got to hit, you're going to have your Jeep paid for. And they are one of the hottest vehicles on the road today. Actually, one of my guys, Ray, and his wife picked me up in their Jeep with Monavie all over it that they had paid for with their own money, but she wants a free Jeep. She don't want to have me driving around a Jeep that she's paying for. She wants to get a free one. So, and the thing I was talking to Wayne about earlier today is the neat thing about a Jeep is that everyone always wanted a Jeep, but things just happen in life, and you kind of justify out of or having a Jeep. But if it's paid for, I'd like to have a Jeep, but now I've had a kid or 2 kids. I can't see the strapping the 2-year-old into the car seat of the Jeep. And what if somebody steals some out of it because it's got a soft top? justifying a toy that you'd like to have, why not for fun go out there and have some fun with us and get yourself one? But last week on the Thirsty Thursday call, because you can listen to this call, your friends that might not have got on or a new person you sponsor tomorrow can listen to the call and hear everything that you've heard tonight. Dr. Larry Linkus did so great. I mean, it is a must-hear call. If you have not heard the call from last week, Wayne, do they just go to thirstythursdaycall.com? Is that where they get the replay?
Yeah, thirstythursdaycall.com. Yes.
Thirstythursdaycall.com.
Yeah, it'll be under the blog, and I'm working on putting that post up by tomorrow. So, yeah, it'll be there.
And it is a must-hear by Larry Linkus. I loved what he said last week. And he had no idea about our Elevate convention coming up, but he talked about elevating your dream. And that is why you want to be coming to this Elevate convention, because you are going to want to elevate your dream. It is the number one priority in this entire industry. I have seen no one succeed to the level of gold or above without coming to a major convention. So get your ticket. Go to Monavie.com and register tonight, because after what I'm going to talk to you about in a second here, you are going to want to come and learn so you're in the know. And by the way, you want to set a goal. We have got 30 days, basically 30 days, just under, for you to bring as many as you possibly can. The first thing you should do is set a goal as to how many I want to bring. I would set a goal of 10 people from now on. In the next 30 days, I want to bring 10 people that would like to have take the best wellness products, like Randy said, on the market today. And him and I love our juice. We believe in, again, we love all the products, but our juice, we just love our juice. Why do we love it the most? Because it works and the bottles are always empty. I mean, and by the way, we don't have near enough people around the world drinking our product, so we got to get the word out. We got to get bigger and better at it. And that's why Mauricio has hired a professional product launch specialist, a Procter & Gamble, Kellogg's type gal that has the experience, and we are launching 2 new products. All right? One of them is called Balance. The other one's called Rest. They're going to be announced and promoted and professionally launched so that people that you know are going to hear about these products, and they're going to say, I heard about those. That is what Monavie is bringing to the table. They like I said, they impress us every single day. They're telling me, the stuff I heard today that I can't tell you. I'm so charged up. I can't even, if I was you, I would get your ticket tonight for the Elevate convention. Okay. We did talk about customers and how important they are. By the way, the new compensation plan, you are going to make money and you're going to have your customers in your tree, and wait till you hear how they explain it, and we help you on that. But that's another way to earn new cash. Monavie's announcing this promotion. It's going to be it's actually a program that they are just so fired up. They hired a professional marketer to help us promote it, and I talked to him late last night. Man, I am so excited about this. Now, what I wanted to tell you is that Monavie has taken 2% of the money that comes in every week and put it to the front of the plan, just smashed it up there for everyone. Now, it's not just for new people. It's for someone like myself who's a crown, or Randy that's a royal, or Wayne that's an emerald. It's for people that decide they want to build right now. Whoever wants to build, they are going to be literally shoveling cash at you with a promotion called the 4x4 program. I can't explain every single thing to you right here, but I will tell you that I just heard news today that after the conference call Monday night, after the Monavie monthly conference call that goes on at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern Time, it starts the call. After that call, so it'll be at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Mountain Time, they're going to be doing a webinar. I don't have the details of the web URL for the webinar, but I will tell you that you don't have to be it's not bad to not understand everything. They are going to do a webinar and explain this program that I'm trying to do on phone right on a board, so you can see exactly the how, what, and why. They're going to have a hotline. They're going to have an email line, everything you need to know, so nobody is going to be left out. They're going to run a pilot program for the next 30 days, and they are offering, now the 2 things that they've got into this 4x4 program is there's new cash to the front of the plan, they are and a free Jeep. What they are going to do in this pilot program is allow people to earn these Jeeps. And again, I'm going to tell you how it is. It's a lease program. Once you qualify at the level that you got to qualify, you end up getting a lease paid for the first 3 months, and then every time you qualify, you get your Jeep payment paid for. But they said, you know what, because we're not ready with the computer and the IT, we can't allow everyone to get the new cash, but we will give them a free Jeep. Steve, would that be okay? Of course it's okay. So we're going to be allowing people that you could possibly, if you want to, and it's a pilot program. So normally in a pilot they pick certain people, but they're going to allow anyone who feels they could get this Jeep to go on and register for this pilot. And they're going to be doing a webinar on this on Monday night. So you want to get the word out that, hey, Monavy's giving away free Jeeps, and we're going to learn how to do this on Monday night. That's going to be at 10 p.m. So you could do your meetings. By all means, do your meetings, because everyone you're talking to, just like I've been telling you all summer, whoever goes who set a goal to earn a mini iPad is going to be in the best position to win on Monday night to start earning their Jeep, because they're crediting the people that people sponsored over the summer. Real quick, I'm going to go over this. 4x4 program is a cash incentive program that's going to help you earn money. So they're going to be putting that together. I'm going to let them explain that, but basically it's you sponsor 4 people, starting at senior kits the best way all the way down to 200 PV. So it doesn't matter. You got a 30-day period to sponsor 4, and then you want to find 4 customers. Now the customers are going to be in the tree starting in September. We want to make sure, the reason why you're hearing this, and some of you might be saying, because I explained this in New Jersey, I rarely had a question. Almost every person I explained to understood. It's simple. 4 people that you sponsor and 4 customers. Well, there's no questions there. That's what you need to do in a 30-day period. Okay? You're going to be called, you're a 4x4 qualified, you get paid out of the 1.5% of that pool, out of that 2%, 1.5% is cash, 5% is the Jeep program, and they're going to give you cash. The more people you put on senior kits, the more money you get out of the pool. The more people, the higher your customers, they're going to let you sponsor people with a $25 one bottle, could be a customer, all the way up to 200 PV. So if you have senior kits for the 4 people you sponsor, but again, you can't sponsor people on 200 PV, and the junior and the customers can be from 25 PV up to 200 PV. We want everyone that you speak with or put their finger in the scanner to be able to get product and be afford a product. So if someone has to get on 1 bottle just like I did for the first 90 days, then that's what they're going to allow. You're going to be able to get them on. It doesn't matter. We want people to get in, and we're going to let you qualify. In that square, it's a pool, so it's not always the same. It depends on who's in the pool. But on average, it's going to be about $500 to $1,000 for that money. Now, that doesn't count all the money you get paid for those junior and senior kits, because there's cash in those. You senior kit, or if you're senior kit qualified, you actually get yes, the 4x4, someone just texted me, the 4x4 program is for Canada as well. It's all in North America. Sorry that I left you, my friend, the Canadians out. Al, appreciate you, and it's all for everyone. So now, they're going to explain this better on the webinar, but you understand, 4 people you're going to personally sponsor as distributors, whether it's 200 PV up to senior kits, and they're going to pay you out of that pool when you hit the 4x4. You could do it as many times as you want. Those people that do it in the first 30 days, by the way, in September, or a new person getting in, their income actually doubles. So that could be, and they double your junior and senior kit money. So there's all kinds of stuff. All I'm getting at, this is coming in September. The reason why we want to do this webinar and do this pilot so that everyone who'd like to can understand it fully, because you got 29 days to get it down. You might be qualified halfway to the Jeep when you hit the thing. Maybe you said, I'm going to get the Jeep, but you get to the event and you're halfway qualified. You only got 2 more weeks to qualify, and you get the Jeep. We don't want people having questions in September. We want you to be able to understand this, and I'm telling you, it is simple. The great thing, once you see it on the board, it'll be much simpler to get it. So once you go 4x4 qualified, you get cash, major cash up front. If you're on the senior kit, you get double the pay. If you do it in the first 30 days, they double it again. Start counting the money. I said without doubling, it's about $500 to $1,000. Now double that a couple times. Could you use that? Could your friends use that? When you help 4 people do the same thing you did, you're basically qualified for the Jeep. Let me give you a quick nutshell how that works out. They're going by volume for the Jeep. So when you sponsor 4 people and they do the same thing, 4 distributors, 4 customers, you need to be hitting 2,000 PV in your pair volume. So that is a bronze, but it's in your pair. Now, I don't have anyone that was sponsored underneath me. Neither does Randy. So we've created all of our volumes, so all of our volume is in our pair. So you just got to qualify as a bronze in your pair, which is the easiest executive level that you possibly can hit in the business, and you earned yourself a 3-month payment of a Jeep. And every time you re-hit that, again, once you hit it for 4 weeks, you're going to be helping others get their Jeep. Every time you help someone else get a 4x4, they're going to give you 20% of what they earn. So if they earn all the doubles and they're getting about $3,000, that means you get 20% of that. If they only get $1,000, you get 20% of that. The cash they've put up front is going to basically help you get around in your Jeep and help you build the business. I'm excited. I'm excited to tell you that there is a webinar on Monday night, but I am excited for you to say, hey, you can start going around and saying, basically, we got to do 2,000 PV on our pair, and we have got ourselves a free Jeep. So start asking people, hey, would you like to take the best wellness products on the market? Would you like to drink them for free, earn some money, and have a free Jeep? Or out of the 4 things, what excites you the most? I just want to have better health. Great. Get them signed up because that's one of your customers. I want to build the business. Then you got a distributor. I want a free Jeep. Then you got someone that wants to go do the 4x4 with you. Again, the promotion, you are going to be so excited how simple it is. Again, let me go real quick how you qualify for a 4x4. You sponsor 4 people and you get 4 customers started in a 30-day period of time. Okay? What do you do then? You go help 4 people do the same thing, and you're looking at a Jeep. Now you want to go help your friends do the exact same thing. They're going to draw this out on the webinar on the screen. You're going to have slideshow to show exactly how it is. That's Monday night. You stay tuned and get yourself the information. Again, we've got plenty of things to plug you in. You can learn more about the 4x4 because Kim and Stacy were at my event with Mauricio up in New Jersey. They're going to be explaining more. Every time we talk for 29 days, you're going to be hearing more. If this is the first time you heard of it, it's kind of like Charlie Cal, my upline, coming to my house saying, okay, here's the compensation plan. Case is right, case is left. Help people hit Star 500. I didn't even know what a Star 500 was, and now Montevi's even made it easier. They don't have Star 500s. You don't need 7 Star 500s to go Blue Diamond. You only need 3 people to be building the business in your pair legs to be successful at Blue Diamond. So, but I didn't understand what he said. So I can understand here on this little conference call that you might not understand everything, but we were going to be giving you a hotline. We're going to give you a email for you to check in. We're going to give you a contract for you to say, hey, I want to be part of this 4x4, and I want to earn myself a Jeep. And you know what? If you don't get in 29 days and you're halfway there, let's just say you hit your first 2 weeks of 2,000 PV, because you got to hit 2,000 PV for 4 weeks in a row, which is 8,000 PV, and you've got yourself qualified for the Jeep. So maybe you're halfway there. But maybe you'll be starting that Jeep up, okay, when you leave the Elevate. You'll be driving home from the Elevate convention. You only need a one-way ticket. So I know that so much stuff is coming. Again, professional product launchers. We've got a new app that's coming out. They introduced on the yacht, or I'm sorry, the ship. Scott Anderson showed us the app that's coming out. I mean, can you imagine listening to your lifelong learning that Randy was talking about? I do this with my pastor. I go onto our app, I hit his sermon from the week before, and while I'm shaving, within seconds I can listen to his talk. That's how the lifelong learning is going to be able to be offered. You still can get the CDs if you want, but the young folks that we want to have in our business love Jeeps, and a CD to them is like an 8-track player. So we have got the latest technology that's coming out, and that's going to be launched there as well. So you want to make sure tonight, before you go to sleep, if you aren't signed up for the Elevate convention, all the cash that I just talked to you about is far greater than what you'd have to pay for a ticket, $125. Airline tickets from Fort Lauderdale, where I'm at tonight, is cheaper to go from it's $350 about to get to it's $500 worth it for a round trip ticket. I mean, to get free in Montevideo is what I'm going to say to you. So, hey, I appreciate all the guest speakers that we had tonight. I'm excited that I was able to start getting you some information on the 4x4, and I also am excited that we do have a webinar that's going to be explaining it more detailed out from corporate, and they're going to have leadership on the call on the webinar as well. So that's going to be happening. You've got Sunday night. You've got the webinar that's going to be going on at 7:30. Montevideo.com/webinar. Monday night, Montevid's got their monthly call that's going to be at 9 o'clock Eastern time. And I appreciate Dave and Carmen. They're just down the street from me here where I'm at. Appreciate them being on the call. Randy, appreciate you. Appreciate all your leadership. I appreciate his energy, excitement, passion for this industry and Montevideo. And I'm telling you, all the folks that I meet in Randy's team as I'm traveling, I was with Arturo this weekend, this past week on the Black Diamond Cruise, and every one of them is what Randy is saying. They've duplicated himself, and they've got the leadership skills. Every month, the Polish team is doing MVP seminars, teaching on the 7 pillars, teaching the 4 income-generating activities. Ask yourself, are you taking those responsibilities? I love what Mauricio said the other night. This isn't about you succeeding in this business. Realistically, can you help a friend earn a Jeep? Would you get excited about helping someone on your team earn a Jeep, possibly before you? My friend, who Carmen and Dave were talking about tonight, Matt and Kim Curtis, we worked with them, and I'm not saying that I'm taking the credit, but we helped them. They went Blue Diamond. We weren't even close. We were at the Emerald level, but we rolled up our shirt sleeves and helped them go Blue Diamond far before us. We had to hit Diamond and then Blue Diamond. You want to be looking at this and say, you know what, I told Gina, it's so easy to set goals because you just want to say, who do I want to set a goal with to help them earn a Jeep? You want to do the same thing. So I hope you're tuning in, you're plugging in. We've put together a great community for you to plug in yourself into and your team. Go to the ThirstyThursdayCall.com to hear all the replays. If you thought this helped, wait till you hear last week's. If you want to have a better marriage, better friendship with people in Montevideo and others, you listen to Dr. Larry Linkus from last night. You want to hear the couple that's going to be on the webinar, Kim and Stacy White, were on the Thirsty Thursday call last week. You can listen to them, get to know them, and start promoting. These teachers are going to be on this call. You're going to want to hear this on Sunday night. So, hey, it's been great talking with everyone. I'm going to let Wayne close it out, and I appreciate you, Wayne. And you know what? Looking forward to everybody having a tremendous rest of the week. Tomorrow's Friday, Payday Friday. Why don't you set a goal to get yourself a couple of those people in the business, those 2 new distributors that you'd like to get started. If they don't want to become a distributor, sign them up as a customer. So we love you guys. We're fired up. Hold on. Gina is here. We're excited. 3 days from now, we got the countdown. 3 days. Our second oldest daughter, Chloe's getting married, and we are fired up. Here's my wife, Gina. Love you guys. Go make it happen. Beep, beep. Earn yourself a Jeep.
Hey, guys, just wanted to say hi real quick. We're so excited getting ready to marry our second daughter in 3 weeks here. I'll tell you what, we're fired up about Montevideo and where it's going. Just want to remind you, today is Thursday, Thirsty Thursday call. Thank you, Wayne, for hosting and all of the amazing speakers, Carmen and Dave, Abdo and Randy Schroeder. Thank you so much for just being a blessing to everybody and giving your words of wisdom to everyone. But, hey, just want to remind you, today is Thursday because, of course, we are on the Thirsty Thursday call. And you know what? You can figure out where you're at in the business, and you could be really close to hitting a new level or a new goal. So I want to tell you, you know what? Press in. This is when Steve and I had a lot of action in our business. We would see where we're at on a Thursday night, and, man, we'd press in. We'd be hitting a new pin and a new goal. So just wanted to leave you with that, guys. Be praying for us. We're going to be having an incredible party tomorrow with all the out-of-town guests. And you know what? This is just amazing because Steve and I were talking. It's just a blessing this Montague business, because you know what? I would be having to finagle my time off to be with the kids and, planning the wedding and all of this that comes into boot when you are planning a wedding. I'm telling you, it's more than you can imagine, but it's a lot of fun. But I'm telling you, you got to have time and you got to have money. And thank goodness for Montague, you know what, that we were inconvenienced ourselves, sacrificed, and you know what, just kept doing our jobs that we had and part-time built this Montague business. It's been a blessing to us. It's going to be a blessing to you. You got to have your dream big. You got to have it alive, and you got to visionize it, if that's even a word. Have vision. So anyways, you guys have a blessed end of the week. Remember, Friday's payday. And you know what? Press in. Midnight, your business system ends. So run for your dreams. Set your goals. God bless you. Thank you, Wayne. You guys have a tremendous weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Fire it up.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve and Gina, Merritt, Randy, Schroeder, and David and Carmen, Abdo. You guys all did fantastic tonight. Thanks for making this call so great. And now I'm going to do what we do every Thursday and open up the call line so that everybody can give a shout-out who you are and where you're from. Wayne Ullery, Youngstown, Ohio.
Muted.
Canada.
Lakeland, Florida. Let's be real, Steve and Gina, with people.
Ottawa, Ontario, Canada.
I was strong, Global Grand, Florida.
Dewey and David, Edmonton, Canada.
Gary, Point Beach, Florida. Jennifer Allenbach from Fort McMurray.
Joe, Buffalo, New York.
Megan and Carmen from Lancaster, Florida.
Sheila Everett, Boston, Massachusetts.
And Wally White from Martha's Vineyard.
Kevin and Michelle McNutt, Cherry Grove, Alberta.
Lindsay Murphy, Pittsburgh, Florida. Maryland, Wisconsin.
Utah.
Rhode Island.